Have you ever met with potential clients you felt that the meetings have gone well, but at the end they said that they want to think about it, they are not yet ready to buy, or they asked you to call them back at a later date, or they said they need to talk with their business partner or their spouse first, and you wonder, what should you do? How should you follow up? The thing is, if you follow up too much, you will seem desperate, and you never want to come across desperate. But if you don't follow up enough, then chances are that you might lose that sale. So what should you do? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this episode. I will share with you 3 practical strategies to follow up with clients who are not yet ready to buy without being pushy or seem desperate. So stay tuned. Hello, this is Millie Leung and welcome to Shine to Impact TV. I share an awesome episode every single week to help you build a fabulous business and life that you truly love. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell too. Okay, so back to our topic today. How to follow up with clients who are not ready to buy. Well, how you follow up has a lot to do with how you conducted your initial meeting with them. Why didn't they buy at that meeting? Did they say they need to talk with their business partner or their spouse? Or did they say they have not got enough budget this quarter, but maybe they can look into buying next quarter? Or did they say they have a lot going on right now and it's just not the right timing at this moment? Whatever that objection may be, it is good to remember that prospects don't always tell you the whole truth, or they may tell you a white lie. Maybe they don't want to look embarrassed because they don't have the money or budget to buy right now. Or maybe they're considering other suppliers at the same time and they wanted more time to do their own research. Or they are just not interested, but they don't want to hurt your feelings by telling you directly. There could be many other reasons that they're not ready to buy, and I've outlined 5 most common reasons in this episode and what you can do in each scenario. So I highly recommend that you take a look at that video afterwards. I'll put the link below this video too. Now, having said that, before you meet with your prospects or during your initial meeting, you should always qualify them upfront. Find out the needs and wants and properly qualify them to see if they're the right prospects. The bottom line is that you don't want to waste too much time on prospects who don't need your products or services. You want to disqualify them quickly and move on to your next potential client. You don't want to waste your time and you don't want to waste their time also. Know that there are plenty of great clients out there and you always get your next clients. Have that abundant mindset. Now, having said that, once you've qualified them and they're the right prospects, but they're not yet ready to buy right now due to some legitimate objection, you want to follow up strategically. So how do you follow up? Well, you don't want to do what most salespeople do. Like, hey, are you ready to buy? Hey, do you have the money now? Or hey, did your husband say yes? Or hey, are you ready to do business right now? You don't want to do that because you would come across too needy, desperate, and pushy, and that is not good. Instead, here is your first strategy. You want to focus on being a problem solver, and your posture and positioning is always that you are a trusted advisor. You are the expert, and you are here to help them solve their problems. And you want to focus on helping your potential clients. Remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so the best way to follow up is to provide personalized value-adding content. Providing value-adding content is the most effective way to differentiate yourself from your competitors, to establish your expert status, and to stay top of mind at the same time. You want them to know that you are not just another salesperson, but someone who brings value to the table. Let's say you're on the phone call with your prospect. You have properly qualified them and they do need your service, but they're just not ready to buy right now due to budget constraint. And they said they were likely to have that budget next quarter. Now, during the call, you want to get to know them. You want to ask questions and find out what they need, what are the problems they're facing, what are the pain points, and why they want to buy, and why they're not yet ready to take action right now. You want to have all those information and put those in your CRM, your customer relationship management system, so that when you follow up, you have all the information and data of that potential client. Now, what you want to do is that based on their problems and their needs, you follow up with personalized and relevant information that will be helpful for them. Now, these may be industry reports, news articles, blog posts, interviews you've done, or YouTube videos or podcasts that you've recorded. Or maybe you have something that is working for your other clients right now and you can ask them if they want to take a look. Something that they can read or listen to educate themselves, to help them realize their gap to solving their problems and to establish your expert status and credibility. If you're following up on WhatsApp or Line or WeChat or whatever communication app that you're using, you want to keep your messages short and sweet instead of bombarding them with a whole essay. You want to continuously drip them with practical, useful, and helpful content that are specific for the situation and pain points. Every single time you're in touch with them, you give them some kind of value, and you are very, very subtly asking them, how are things? Are you still facing the same problem? Or what kind of things are you doing right now to sort out the previous issues? Provide value, and stay top of mind. Okay, now while sending business-related value-adding content is an excellent strategy to follow up with clients who are not yet ready to buy, sometimes prospects may connect with you more on a more personal level. So my second follow-up strategy is to connect on a more personal level. Now this is what I mean. For example, if during your call or your initial meeting, the potential clients mention that they'll be getting married in a few weeks, then when in a few weeks' time about when they're getting married, you can send them thoughtful messages to congratulate them. Or if they mention that they would love to visit Italy one day and you come across an irresistible or great promotion to Italy, don't hesitate to send it across. Your prospects are human and it's hard to ignore a thoughtful message providing something useful for their personal life than it is to ignore a sales follow-up. So always remember to log into your CRM, meaning your customer relationship management system, anything a client or prospect tells you during your chats. This will allow you to easily access and leverage the data for future conversations. Now, the third strategy you can follow up with clients who are not ready to buy is to send them a short personalized video. I remember years ago when I was working on my first business, I met with a successful and established businessman. After our initial meeting, he was interested in what I had to offer, but he was on the edge and didn't want to commit to buying right away. So what I did was, after a few days, I sent him a short personalized video, a video that I recorded just for him. I mentioned his name in the video and I reiterated the pain points he mentioned to me during our meeting and how my product was able to help him solve his pain points. And guess what? With that short personalized video, he got back to me and I closed that deal. Later on, he told me that he has done business for over a decade. Lots of people have sent him texts and emails to follow up, but no one has ever sent him a personalized video, and so I stood out. And with that, he wanted to support my business and buy from me instead of from my competitors. Do you see the power in that? Yes, it is very powerful. So if it's applicable for your business, you can also send short personalized videos to your qualified prospects to follow up. Okay, now maybe you're wondering, Millie, so how often should I follow up? Well, it depends. If during the initial call you've gotten the permission from your prospect to follow up in a day or a week, then do so. Otherwise, you might want to follow up once a week or once every 2 weeks, but it really depends on the transaction size and what you're selling. If you understand your business well, then you should be able to come up with your own conclusion that makes sense. Now, it may take multiple follow-ups and that's perfectly fine, but you have to focus on giving value every single time. Now, one very strange thing will happen to you when you use these follow-up strategies I just mentioned. It is that your potential clients will one day contact you and say, hey, now I'm ready to do business with you. I wasn't ready 3 months ago, but now I'm ready. How can I work with you? Or something even more strange will happen is that if they're not yet ready to buy or they're not the right buyers, but your content has been so helpful for them, they will send you referrals. Yes, referrals. Because they trust you and feel confident that you're the real deal and can help their friends to solve their problems. Now, which lead to my final point. If it turns out that your products or services are not the best fit for your prospects, it is okay. Recommend someone else to them. Yes, you may not get paid to do so, but it is the right thing to do, and this builds relationship and trust. Trust me, your prospects know, and they will come back to you when they do need your products and services one day, or they'll be happy to refer someone else who does. So the bottom line is, don't be desperate. Be a solution provider and always provide value, value, and value when you follow up with your clients who are not ready to buy. Now, if you'd like to have more ways to market your business with little or no money, check out the link below this video to grab my free gift, 50 ways to market your business with little or no money checklist. I'll put the link below this video as well. If you've enjoyed this video and want to know more strategies and tactics to build a business and a life that you truly love, do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell too. Also, please do like this video and be sure to share this with your friends too. You have a special gift in you. Believe in yourself and shine and impact the world in a bigger way. Remember, dream big, start small, and act now. With that said, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now. Subscribe and hit the bell.